What really grates on me is the obnoxious superiority and snubbery that people who spell poorly face. Now, this derision is often verbal remarks made snidely behind the poor speller's back. But this superiority is also visible on the internet. Exhibit A demonstrates callous remarks that spelling mistakes attract. Someone spelt fuel wrong, and unfortunately it was a very public mistake to make. Comments ensued calling the writer pathetic, a fool, uneducated, an idiot, and denounced them as illiterate. Now, I'm not talking about those who helpfully correct misspelt words if a polished standard is necessary. For example, if work is client-facing or is going to be published, or if marks would be deducted on coursework, then a constructive, critical eye is valuable and appreciated. Instead, it's the snobbery which is grating, an attitude where people turn up their nose at those who misspell words. It is bewildering that people with strong spelling skills would put themselves onto a pedestal. Okay, so it turns out it's pedestal, not pedal stool. I always thought that it was a stool the height of a bicycle pedal. Oh well. And from way up there, they don't see the reality that numerous studies prove that those who are not skilled at spelling are no less intelligent than those who spell well. In fact, many neurodiverse brains don't see spelling errors. This doesn't mean we are lazy, generally incompetent, or lack diligence. And atypical brains that are not skilled at spelling are high value. So high value that those who judge us feel insecure. Perhaps. F. Scott Fitzgerald, who wrote The Great Gatsby, spelt yacht and upon wrong. Such errors do not devalue this masterful piece of work. And Agatha Christie was notoriously bad at spelling, while Churchill School Report wrote, "Writing good, but so terribly slow, and spelling about as bad as it can be." So what advice do I have to give? Don't say sorry. You don't have anything to be sorry for. Instead, own it without shame. Discount the views of those that ridicule bad spelling and focus on everybody else. Others will treat you based on how you treat yourself, so don't belittle yourself over your spelling capabilities. Have confidence that you have value to give and this doesn't compromise your reputation. But who is she to give advice? Well, this is my story. If you're dyslexic, there's nothing wrong with you at all. Be proud of being dyslexic. I struggled at A-levels. I floundered my way through it. That area of higher education, I think, is very overstructured and very catered to neurotypical minds. Whereas at university, I had the adaptability, the resilience from my earlier education, and the creative thinking to take something dry like law and to absolutely smash it. I came out of university with a first-class honours degree in international law, graduating with the highest average grade in my course. Initially, it was a battle to survive, but then I started doing things my way and thinking outside the box, opting for as many coursework-based modules as possible, mind-dumping and researching ideas over and over again, drawing links and contrasts, creating alternative evaluations, splattering my work with creative thinking, and of course dedicating hours of graft to it. And professors reward the creation of outstanding, alternative arguments. And that's what we're good at. And there are people that will act superior because they know how to spell. It's not that you don't know, it just doesn't work with your brain, you know? And I would say that if your only accolade in life is that you're good at spelling, and I think that if you need to put somebody else down for their grammar capabilities, then you've got a complex or an issue that is also not enviable. Countless times throughout my career, throughout uni, throughout college, people snubbing others who can't spell, and I've always been so disgusted with them. What do they call themselves? A grammar Nazi. And I just think, I'm so glad I'm not you. And honestly, you do not need to be good at spelling to be good at business. You do not need to be good at spelling to be good at networking and managing relationships. You do not need to be good at spelling for so many things. You're not hopeless, you know? That's my rant over. Nobody intentionally doesn't spell a word right. Nobody intentionally puts words back to front or upside down. So if you're criticising somebody who's got errors in their work, they're not necessarily being careless. They just can't see what you can see, and the fact that you can see it does not make you more superior. I make spelling mistakes all the time. I share my screen at work, and I'll have so many spelling mistakes that they'll point out to me, and I'll amend it. I'll be like, right, thanks, there's no issue. You're not a fraud if you like reading books and you're dyslexic, and you take longer to get stuff out and read stuff than other people. You're not any less intelligent. In fact, you're probably more, honestly. And I'm saying that because the way we mark ourselves and our younger generations is just, it makes me marvel. It's ridiculous. Even if bad spellers aren't dyslexic, they shouldn't be looked down on. Which leads me to point number 4. If someone is bad at spelling due to lack of education rather than neurodiversity, then looking down on them shows a social prejudice in a society of unequal opportunities. Essentially, this judgment is sugar-coated privilege. It might even be their second language. And there's not many Britons who can speak 2 languages, are there?
I should so start an a cappella group.